It's not something the average citizen may think about, but it's on the minds of all first responders while they're doing their job. Exposure to bodily fluids at accident scenes means that police, fire, and ambulance workers are all at a heightened risk to contract communicable diseases. Peace Region first responders are welcoming some new legislation.
It's something that's definitely very important to us. We have inherent dangers and risks with this job, and unfortunately not all those risks can be mitigated. Through this bill, it allows us to protect not only ourselves but our families. We come in contact with fluids that could potentially have come from somebody who has a risk disease.
The bill will allow first responders to access information about whether or not a person they may have come into contact with has bloodborne illness. The simple fact of knowing when they've been exposed comes as a relief to first responders who in the past have had to take strong medication to avoid infection.
It's a very strong anti-rejection drug they have to take so they don't catch HIV or AIDS or Hep C. And during that time when they're waiting to find out, or even if the person never gives permission for them to get their bodily fluids tested, then they have to take this long series of medication, and it's physically draining and mentally draining because they don't know if they have a disease that could affect them and their family.
Between 1987 and 2011, WorkSafe BC accepted 227 claims for hepatitis B, Hep C, and HIV exposures. Of those cases, 47 were from first responders. Healthcare officials say that most people agree to the voluntary testing, but the legislation can help in cases where consent isn't given. Crafting the bill carefully weighed the privacy of victims and the needs of first responders.
In the past, we've said, no, it's privacy of the victims on the road, that we can't do this. But the fact is that we have the rights of the firefighters and the ambulance attendants and the RCMP. They have to be looked after as well. And I think this brings a great balance for that situation.
BC is the latest province to adopt such legislation, which exists in 6 other provinces, giving first responders in the province another tool to use while they help others out. Stacey Robbins, CJDC TV News, Fort St. John.